Hello, my dear community. Welcome to my channel. My name is Wei-Jen, and I help people to attract their desired lifestyle and love by expanding awareness, self love, and energy vibration. Today, the topic that I want to focus on is about upgrading your essence in order to magnetize your life. Now, before I start, I'm a firm believer that, a lot of things that especially within our control, that we have full control, we can actually make a decision, a conscious decision internally, energetically, right now. So, to give you an example, sometimes many of us thinking about losing weight or wake up early or improve our being on time, our courtesy. I think these small habits, right, most of the time, in many cases, we have full control to make up the decision that we want to improve these small habits. And instead of waiting until the next day, tomorrow, we tell ourselves, okay, tomorrow we will go to the gym, or next year we will go to the gym. We will start to work on losing weights, or next year I will start to learn how to manage my finance. These things, I am a firm believer that we can start right now. It's about commitment. And so as we are getting closer to the end of 2023 and 2024 to 2024, that's right. 2024 is about to arrive. Lately, I have been spending a lot of time thinking about in 2024, what are the small habits, in my spiritual awakening journey or professional or emotional or personal, these areas, what are the things that I want to improve, and what can I do started right now. So some of you may know that from my previous video about my family background and where I come from. And if this is your first time visiting my channel, welcome. I would love to share with you a little bit about my background. I used to be this a huge people pleaser, caretaker, and empath person because of my family background. My father is an untreated functional alcoholic, and my mother is an untreated severe codependent. So, as a kid growing up in that kind of environment, I used to take care of them, putting others, their needs, desire, and feelings before my needs, desire, and needs. So inevitably, when I, grew up to be an adult, I was a huge empath. And I always, I used to soak up other people, their energy and their emotion, their feelings so easily, so quickly. And even before I walk into the room to meet people, right, I could already sense other people, their energy. And ever since I started my spiritual awakening journey, which is about around 5 years ago, in the beginning, I thought that was a really negative trait, personal trait, being an empath, because, being an empath, not only I got to soak up other people, their energy, whether it is good, it is positive or negative, right? But also, it's really hard for an empath, speaking about my personal experience. It was really challenging for me to say no to certain things or people who I have no desire or interest whatsoever to get myself involved. That was the beginning of my spiritual awakening journey and then also personal transformation. But then lately, it wasn't until the last few years, this year or the last 2 years, I started to see the positive side, the beautiful side, the beautiful gift about being an empath. And, I went from this extreme being an empath, which is, always taking care of other people's their needs before my needs, right? To the completely opposite, which is, I had to learn in a very um, mindful way and in a very robotic way at first by saying no to pretty much a lot of things that I didn't want to do. And I didn't also have a great communication skill when that first time when I say no to people. I thought when I say no and set up the boundary with other people, I had to be rude, I had to be mean. And to the point, the more that I practice it, I started to have people saying that I was selfish. And I took it as a compliment, quite to be honest with you guys, because before I was being told that I am selfish, I never had that kind of labels or judgment from other people until lately. I started to hear more often that people would say, "You're so selfish, you always take care of your own needs and you always think about it's all about you." So that is the moment I knew, okay, I am doing the right thing. I am really learning how to detach. And now I can slowly back up to find this middle ground where I can started to have empathy for myself and for others, and yet at the same time knowing what is my limit, what is my boundary, what is okay and not okay to me, and with that sensitivity towards to myself and to other people as well. So today I want to this is the point that I want to talk about today, is that being an empath is not necessarily a negative trait, and it doesn't necessarily mean that it has all the negative Im- impact or impression about being an empath. I think being an empath, the positive, the upside of being an empath is that we get to sense other people or feel other people, their energy. And we are so good at reading other people and then reading the room, the environment, right? I think that is a beautiful gift that as an empath we can have, because when we are able to read other people, read the room, read the environment, right? We we have that filter, knowing how to interact, how to socialize, how to express ourselves better, instead of this being a person who has no filter whatsoever and then just saying everything, whatever comes to their mind without any second thinking. So I think that is a wonderful upside trait about being an empath. Now, if you are if you have been in this spiritual awakening journey or personal transformation journey for quite some time, and you have a full acknowledgement and awareness about being an empath, and also your shortcoming is soaking other people their energy and or their emotions so easily, right? And to the point that you feel that you can and you're comfortable setting out the boundary and saying no to other people. If you're in this stage, I want to invite you to start it to integrate how can we carry that sensitivity and that empathy towards to ourselves and another human being, yet at the same time knowing how to set up the boundary, how to say no with loving kindness, how to detach and let go with love, how to grieve with love, and how to you know let go with the things that they don't serve us anymore. And that can also include, it doesn't necessarily has to be a person. It can be something, an old pattern, an old habit that used to serve us so well, but today it doesn't serve us that well anymore, right? How can we let that old pattern go? So that is something that I want to talk about it. And that is also how we can use what we already have, which is, being an empath, right? As a character trace, how can we use this is something that we already have to elevate our essence and to the point where it started to help us to find new choices and make new choices to have a different new experience. And I think, a lot of times we tend to take granted for what we already have. That also includes the qualities that we already have. And we underrate, we taking things for granted about, the things that we get used to so much. We feel so comfortable. It almost become, literally our autopilot. So now I want to go back to this basic to reassess the qualities that we already have within us and how can we use that quality to transform into a new quality that can bring us a different new experience. And that is something that I want to talk about it. If you especially want to elevate your lifestyle and want to attract the love that you desire to have, how can we use the qualities we already have and then cultivate a new quality that will help us pursue more joy, love, happiness, and freedom too? So that is something that I want to point it out today. Now, if you're the opposite of empath, maybe you're so comfortable with your own frame to the point where you have been receiving lots of, people, their thoughts, their opinion about you. Like my father, he is a functional alcoholic, and he is so emotionally unavailable. And I know that a lot of the people around him or who used to be friends with him will call him, he is a narcissist. I think that's might be too extreme, could be. But definitely I have witnessed that, a lot of time there are people, including my mother, will call him that he is a very selfish man. And I think, the opposite of empath is a person who always put their needs first, and maybe they don't have that much sensitivity about their surrounding or other people, their needs, feelings, and their desire. And that ended up that, sometimes they're being called that they are selfish, they're narcissist, they're self-centered, they're entitled, whatever you can imagine those labels, right? If you feel that you're in that category, I also want to invite you to think about, okay, how can you find that balance to, put your needs first, yet at the same time have more empathy, have more compassion, and then loving kind and a sensitivity towards to your surrounding. I don't think there is a good or a bad, whether you're empath or you are a person who is, knows how to fulfill your needs first more, right? I don't think there is a good or bad. I think, it's about balance there. And it's about also what is your motivation when you do or say certain things or make some certain choices, right? What's underneath that motivation? And if you have somebody, a lot of people or some people sometimes they will tell you that, you should be, have more compassion and loving kind toward your friends, your surrounding. You should understand other people more where they come from, right? I invite you, maybe also you can start do some service, be at the service. um, so you have this experience of understanding and feel a little bit more where other people they come from. And hopefully, starting from here, it will also elevate your essence. And, it will change also other people, their perception of you by the action that you take, by being as service. So that is something that I want to share with you guys. And I hope you find this video is helpful and valuable to you. If you do, feel free to like my video, leave the comment, share with me what's going on with you and your feedback, because I love to hear your feedback. And even subscribe my channel. Now, if you want to dive deeper into personal transformation, also feel free to book a 30 free discovery call with me to find out whether or not working with me is a right fit for you. Until then, I want to thank you so much for spending your time watching my video, and I wish you have a fabulous day. Namaste.